basil, still blooming for the bees. And I can make tea, I can add it to salad or greens. So a little bit medicine in each meal.
In Kepner, Carolyn Leh is growing good health for her and her husband, Victor Cardona, a U.S. Army veteran. Originally from Saigon, she's dubbed the gardens Mrs. Saigon Farms, where neighbors pick fresh ingredients from vegetables to herbs.
I grow mostly rare vegetables that you cannot buy or you find expensive at the grocery stores, then rare herbs or medicinal plants. So practically I have entire pharmacy in the back. So for, let's say for inflammation, you have different herbs. You just go through and see what suits your needs, what you like from the texture, from the flavor. You choose your own.
Using permaculture food forest techniques, Carolyn's growing food on about a third of their 1.6 acreage.
First, I only started with 30 by 30 feet. There's very little topsoil, the rest is limestones. So it forced me to build a raised bed, so we have raised beds.
Even in a small space, there's room for fruit trees and annual and perennial crops, like chili pequins that Carolyn's happy to share with mockingbirds.
I would like to try this year with fermentation, with something that's good for your gut flora, because when it's come to probiotic, fermentation is the way.
Once she got her roots into Texas weather, Carolyn took over the back part of the property. She starts some seeds in trays for the next season. Victor built her a greenhouse to grow seedlings over winter. She direct sows others.
If I grow beans, for example, I grow them straight in the ground. Here, this is dandelion young shoots. It's great to add into the mixed green. This one is good for your kidney. Since I have been growing for a while, I let tomatoes, for example, volunteer. When I let things go volunteer and it's meet certain purposes I want to achieve in a food forest.
She connected with various permaculture groups to learn the concepts of a food forest. That includes selecting the best plants for her Kempner microclimate.
Here you can see two varieties of plantain. One is the broadleaf and one is the narrow one. I experimenting with these two varieties because one is I can grow them in arid, drought, hot area, and one you can grow in the more shades area. So that's how it looks. And for the culinary aspect, I use the green, the young green, and add it to my salad.
Along with perennial flowering herbs, native perennial ornamentals attract pollinators.
4 years ago, you would not see any flowers out there blooming, but now if you go out there, you will see different flowers blooming. So it's consistently blooming through the year, so it doesn't stop out there.
Carolyn plants lemongrass everywhere as a mosquito repellent when rubbed on the skin, and in teas, oils, and recipes.
If you have a bundle like this, you look at and you choose the biggest one, and you harvest. So, and for cooking, I use like this one. I would cut until here and use this for cooking. But it's also experimenting because you remove the outer, one or two, and then you chop it. You see, you hear it? You can already hear it. This is so fine and it has no fiber, and then you just hang it very fine. If you have a mixer to blend it, see, and it releases the smells. And you can make it finer. You can chop it more finely and put it in your chicken, your stir fry.
The latest addition to their food forest is really making a splash.
You can use the duck's water, where the ducks swimming in there, that contains their poop. You can practically take that water and water in the garden. And you don't have to dilute it like you would do with the chicken manure because it's in the water and it's already diluted. From the permaculture, what I also have learned, this is when you collect manure, they should come from different sources. It means from the rabbit, from the chicken, from the pigs and the cows. So because each of them have different diets, and with different diets, they have different minerals. So if you have this a complex of manure, it's like yummy, great for the soil.
In this close-knit, rural community, Mrs. Saigon Farms is the on-demand farmer's market.
Let's say you like mixed green for your needs, and you prefer naturally organic growing. You come in here and you pick it your own, or you call us and place an order and we pick it fresh in the morning for you. So you just stop by on the way home and pick it up, or we deliver it to you. So just locally here. So when you look at our sign, Mrs. Saigon Farms, which my husband draw, is the world, eat local, think global. So practically you can come here with the bikes if you want. So if you live here around, my neighbor over there could come by here, my neighbor and then next door, he can come over here. So practically he doesn't have to get in the car and drive to the supermarket, which is about 11 to 15 miles from here. So if you could imagine, you just say, Caroline, I stop by, pick up my mixed green. I would love to help, to make people feel healthier again, even though, you take a lot of pills, but you feel like, maybe it's just a placebo, but it's still better than nocebo. Gardening ground me a lot, make me feel very humble. And the more I'm working, I'm crying. But it makes me feel small in a humble way. I can learn so much from nature. I cannot imagine not to do this for the next 40 years. And it's just realizes how much we, miss how disconnected I was before I started gardening. I had a hectic life, a life that is, is time, schedule. I chose to become gardening, which is not a prestigious profession in Asian countries. It's not. You see, the Mrs. Saigon Farms is the farm's word is a conjugated verb. It's not a subjective. So it means you have never seen or heard Mrs. Saigon Farms. You hear some lawyer, you hear chemist, you hear politicians, but you don't hear somebody Vietnamese farms. It's something that you say here, I'm farming, I'm a farmer, I grow vegetables. It's not. So, and I would like to break this system by saying, I can do this. I'm young, I can do this, and heck with tradition. I'm sorry. Because if you're a politician, you're a lawyer, you're a chemist, you still have to eat at least 3 times per day.